First of all, I would like to thank you very much for two things. Firstly, for your kind words, and secondly, also explaining that I will be here only for a few minutes as I have to go and attend an engagement at the House of Lords. Normally, House of Lords does not sit on Fridays, but this is one of those things that this Friday, because of some emergency bills, we are sitting at 10 o'clock. So I have to leave. I hope you will understand it. As you mentioned that family is a fundamental to our society and to our development, I fully agree. And I also would like to add that families can be friends, and friends can also become families. So there is a bi-relationship between friends and families, and I think we should actually work together with families and with friends to bring peace and harmony to our relationship amongst ourselves and amongst our friends, communities, and in the nations. Let me start by saying that in the midst of high-level meetings, top-down diplomacy, gatherings of world leaders, UN leaders, and other high-ranking officials, the decisions, the targets, the commitments, and the visions, one of the key factors that can give us hope, that can be a power for good, can go universally unnoticed, undernourished, and neglected. And that is family. The family unit. At once tangible and intangible, yet the very life spring from which we all develop. It is here for many of us fortunate to grow up within a family unit that our beginnings, our roots, and our sense of self-worth form as we grow. The importance of the family, regardless of faith, religion, culture, community, the close-knit mix of young and old working together as a unit cannot be undermined. And here I think of my own mother, who, as I was growing up in the Punjab, was widowed at an early age of 37 and struggled single-handedly to bring up her 7 young children and educate them to have a better life, no matter what the circumstances she found herself after our father's death, a mother who cared for her family and a mother who was the thread that held the family together. As a widow, she sacrificed her own comforts to ensure our future prosperity. My experiences underline how important the family is and that we should be looking to give sustenance to support, to nurture and sustain it, for it is here within the family unit that so much can be done to facilitate measures to eradicate poverty, promote values that sustain new generations, enabling them to avoid the poverty, and at the same time encouraging peaceful and lawful coexistence within our communities. And what better way can we ensure that this happens through the Sustainable Development Goals, that the family to work together to think not only for themselves, but for each other at the same time. Although there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets, the United Nations Secretary General, His Excellency Ban Ki-moon's strong message is, leave no one behind. As the family prospers, so will the community. I happened to actually be in New York last year on 25th of September as a guest of Ban Ki-moon to attend the opening of the UN Assembly. It was opened by His Holiness the Pope. And the message which came across from the Pope, from Ban Ki-moon, and from other world leaders was that we are entering into a new era of another 15 years, from 2015 to 2030. We should build on the strengths of our Millennium Development Goals. And I think it was a very good message. The world will be much better if we were to see what good we have done in the last 15 years and how we can even improve on that. And what has not been achieved, how we can achieve that. So that was a very important meeting, and I was very proud to be part of that meeting. It is often said that poverty is the root cause of conflict and destroying peace, be it a family, community, or a nation. And this is where the cohesive family unit can pull together to enable people to sustain their lives and give them hope of a future without poverty. At the same time, I believe we cannot make the mistake of equating poverty with a lack of peace and instability. Many people who grow up in poverty go on to lead fulfilling and productive lives, contributing to their society in a positive way. The destruction and destitution that we see in many societies, in many fragile countries that are poor, does not evolve from poverty alone, although this may be a facilitating factor. Even with the most loving of family units that are not poor, disillusionment and anger can lead to individuals plotting towards the destruction of society. So whilst we promote the family for peace and security, we should not be complacent and should not take the family for granted. In my concluding remarks, I would like to emphasize that the family is extremely important for social stability and relevant to advancing all of the Sustainable Development Goals. We as a family, as a community, and as a nation should take notice of the Sustainable Development Goals in order to achieve social peace and prosperity in the world.